BRAC, founded by Sir Fazle Hassan Abed. Everybody knows around the world that it has enormous success story in changing people's life. And the experience of journey of BRAC would definitely help um, all the participants to understand, the role of NGOs and cooperatives in improving the lives of general people, and that will immensely benefited. We all will be immensely benefited out of this deliberation. I'd like to thank our SAFA President, Mr. Ashfaq Yusuf Tola, for your kind presence despite of your extreme busyness. And also, I'd like to thank uh, the paper presenter, Mo Tushikobi, for agreeing to be present in this webinar and, representing Bangladesh to the SAFA region. I wish today's seminar would be a mind opener for all of us, and it will be a successful deliberation today. With the few words, I want to conclude here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. As I said earlier, our chief guest supposed to leave earlier. So, sir, over to you, sir, Mr. Ashfaq Yusuf Tola, our chief guest, President South Asian Freedom Accountant, to offer his speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Bismillahir Rahman Rahim, Mr. Abdul Rahman, the chairman of the committee and chairman, National Board of Revenue, Bangladesh, Mr. Patwari, the vice president of ICMAB, Mr. Mohammad Yasin, the vice president of ICMAB, and honorable guests, distinguished members of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Bangladesh, my fraternity of the region, and in particular the speakers of today's webinar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Again, I would not be exaggerating while giving my comments that NPO, NGOs, and cooperatives are really backbone of our society. In this region where we have got 2 billion souls living, and most of them are living in underprivileged situation, I think this is the need of the hour from the SAFA platform that we should promote the NPO, NGO, and we must narrate the success stories of all these NGOs. I would be failing in my duty if I'll not mention the name of the current Chief Advisor of Government of Bangladesh, Mr. Mohammad Yunus, whose Grameen Bank has changed the life of millions of people. And I think he truly deserved to have the Nobel Peace Prize laureate, and he is there. Because of his success story, now he is leading Bangladesh to a new path and new success stories. I think there are so many other success stories in the region, and today's seminar will go a long way to write these stories to the millions and billions of people of the region. I wish this webinar a success, and I want this seminar to be converged into a booklet where we can just come up with a publication and we can distribute amongst the institute and respective members of all the public accounting organization of the region. I'm sorry, I'm extremely busy and I have got back-to-back meeting from now. Hence, I'll not be in a position to attend the entire webinar, but I know for sure Mr. Abdul Rahman is a dynamic leader and his leadership will definitely give a new height to this committee and will raise the bar of SAFA. With these words, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind presence. We are glad to accept your gift. So now, sir, we are directly moving to our resource person for his deliberation and preparation. Over to you, ma'am. Now it's your turn. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you. It's such an honor to represent BRAC, an organization that was founded by Sir Fazle Hassan Abed, who's a fellow chartered management accountant. So I'm sure he would have been really proud to share that I'm sharing with his fraternity, his community, and we'll see that how a chartered management accountant founded what came to be the world's largest non-government organization. So it's our pleasure, of course, to introduce BRAC, but let me just introduce myself. My name is Motushi Kobir. I have been with BRAC for a little over 7.5 years, and I had the pleasure of working with Sir Abed directly for about 2.5 years before he passed away. The first question we are always asked usually is, what does the word BRAC stand for? Is it an acronym? What's the meaning of the word? So I wanted to share with you briefly the history of BRAC and of course the name. BRAC was founded in 1972, just after the liberation war of Bangladesh, when the founder came back from UK and started BRAC in the northeast of Bangladesh in a region called Shalla. And since then, the relief for the refugees who were coming from India was the most pressing need. BRAC started as Bangladesh Rehabilitation Assistance Committee because the goal was to provide emergency relief assistance for the returning refugees from India. However, as the founder started working with the people, he realized that a country which was devastated by war, to turn around the country economically and socially, only short-term relief was not enough. That's when BRAC started working in villages in Bangladesh and shifted its focus from short-term relief to long-term development. So that's why in 1973, the name changed to Bangladesh Rural Advancement Committees. Even then, it was an acronym. However, as we were started working in the rural areas of Bangladesh, then the realization came that many challenges that were facing Bangladesh, like poverty, unemployment, those are not limited to rural areas only. There were also problems in the urban areas, urban poverty, unemployment. So that's when BRAC decided to drop the abbreviation since 1992, and since then it has been known just as BRAC. And in 2022, we started our first international operation in Afghanistan. So I wanted to share with you the story of the founder, how he started, and some of his philosophies. So I'll share a video with you.
There's no point in living in a kind of life that you are completely insulated from other people's lives. The importance of having a good life, doing work in a multinational organization seemed quite immaterial to me at that point. December 1971, we achieved our victory. And then I came back from London in January 1972, and I sold my flat in London, and I had 16,000 pounds with which I started BRAC. Poor people are poor because they are powerless. You must organize people for power. They must organize themselves in such a way. They must understand the dynamics of their communities in such a way that they can change their lives. Giving attention to women and girls is very important as to how to bring about change in women's lives. I consider myself a global citizen, and I'm ready to help in any country which needs BRAC. Most NGOs remain small and beautiful, but we were very ambitious. We wanted to change Bangladesh. BRAC hasn't done much other than healthcare or finance loans and given like that. But it's the poor people who have worked very hard to get themselves out of poverty. জীবনের কে রাখিতে পারে আকাশের প্রতি তারা ডাকিছে তাহারে তার নিমন্ত্রণ ডোকে ডোকে নব নব পূর্বাচলের আলোকে আলোকে. When I think about Bangladesh, I think about everybody. Not everybody is enjoying Rabindranath, but not everybody is enjoying great literature and great culture that Bangladesh has. But I think everybody has got the right to have this experience. I've lived a full life, and I have lived a life of service. So in a way, I don't live a life for myself only. I lived a life for others too. So that's a great satisfaction that I've been able to do something useful.
So I'll end here the video here, and that's how actually Sir Fazle defined BRAC. So when today we are asked what does the word BRAC mean, it means an idea, it means a movement, not just an organization, an idea of a world where everyone has equal opportunity to realize their potential, because he defined his life as bringing joy to other people's life, being useful in other people's lives. So that's what the organization and the movement stand for, that we are not just a conventional non-government organization, but we want to be an idea working everywhere, realizing people's potential. And this idea stems from the very thought about respect for human dignity. And that's where BRAC is different from traditional aid organizations. So we do not call ourselves a charity or an aid organization. We do not call our participants, people who we work with, as beneficiaries or helpless recipients of aid, because Sir Fazle and BRAC really believes that poverty and inequality are human-made, so they can be unmade. So people we work with, be it our microfinance clients, teachers who run our schools, or our health program participants, we call them our participants because BRAC really partners with the community on the ground and designs and implements the solution with them. So that's the first differentiation, I think, with traditional NGO or aid organizations, that we really believe in the dignity of the people that we work with. And this idea of BRAC, that giving opportunity, right, and skills to the poor people, that they can turn around their own lives, have been acknowledged worldwide, especially Nobel laureates Esther Duflo and Abhijit Banerjee. They actually did a research on BRAC's ultra poor graduation program. And they say that this idea that even the poorest of the society have enough talent to be self-sufficient, to turn around their own lives, is something that should be celebrated and recognized. That's why we say that in the last 50 years, we have partnered with 145 million people worldwide. And currently, BRAC is the largest non-government organization that has been born and proven in the global south. And we started in Bangladesh, but as you can see, we currently operate in 14 countries in Asia and Africa. And aside from our physical presence, some of BRAC's pioneering development approach, like the ultra-poor graduation approach that I just mentioned, have been implemented in nearly 50 countries by over 100 organizations, reaching approximately 14 million people worldwide. That's what Sir Abed wanted BRAC to be, that not just an organization, but our models and approaches can be adapted by many different contexts and many different countries worldwide. One of the other thing that distinguishes BRAC, and that's probably because of Abed Bhai in Bangla, of course, his brother, that's how we address him. From Abed Bhai's background as a chartered accountant, that he really brought his attention to detail, his management approach, his idea about transparency and governance in BRAC. That's why economists calls BRAC the most business-like NGO, because it's really not like a traditional NGO in a sense. Abed Bhai, the way he scaled it up and the way he really institutionalized many of the management practices and turned BRAC into a well-governed organization. That's why we define ourselves not as a conventional aid-based NGO, but a solution ecosystem. A solution ecosystem that creates pathways for people to realize their potential. Because we believe that poverty and inequality are really complex. So there cannot be a silver bullet to solve poverty or inequality. So when you look at BRAC's different programs, you see a multi-sectoral approach in health, livelihood, financial inclusion, education, disaster resilience. Because when we go in a community, we don't take a ready-made solution and just try to impose that. We go to the community, look at the people, and what is the solution that will work for them. That's why BRAC has a multi-sectoral approach. And in our solution ecosystem, you'll see social development programs. So we have around 18 social development programs ranging from health, education, skills development, livelihood, financial inclusion like microfinance. We have 11 social enterprises. That's where, again, his business mind, his management background comes in, that he set up social enterprises in a way where the surplus and the profit of which are again fed back into our development program to scale it up. He also actually founded 22 organizations, and in investments like BRAC Bank, one of country's leading banks, investment in insurance companies, network organizations, because the profit for these investments again are fed back to scale up BRAC's social development program. He also set up a university, BRAC University, to shape the minds of the future leaders who can contribute and be develop themselves as a socially conscious citizen. So this ecosystem of solution is what makes BRAC different from any other organization in the world. And one of the ideas that was really core to the founder is the idea of scale. And one of the first success story of Bangladesh, in fact, and BRAC was how BRAC helped to eliminate child mortality from diarrhea. Because around that time, one of the leading causes of death in children under the age of 5 was waterborne disease and diarrhea. So we trained a cadre of rural women who went door to door to 13 million households in Bangladesh and taught mothers this homemade rehydration solution with a little molasses, with salt, water, and that homemade or saline solution actually helped cut child deaths from diarrhea by more than 80%. So that idea of scale, that how can we reach in a big way, how can we train rural women as the service provider, again distinguishes BRAC. And often the idea comes from empathy and listening closely to the community, and then merged with entrepreneurial spirit. So really pragmatic, really focused on solving people's problem. And one of the examples is how Arong came to be. The idea really didn't start with the big dream of a lifestyle retail chain. The idea started that how can we create livelihood for rural women in Bangladesh. And BRAC started by providing mulberry saplings to women. Then from the saplings, it started teaching women how to rear silkworms, and it started training women on producing handicrafts from those silk. But then the problem was, the women who were producing the craft, how would they sell it? How will they get fair price? Because they were middlemen and they didn't have a direct channel to sell them to the urban centers. So that's when BRAC set up its first retail chain in 1978. So the women who were working in the villages producing craft could get a direct access to the market. And that's how Arong came to be. We currently work with more than 65,000 artisans, and we are also exporting products abroad. Similarly, Arong Dairy, the idea came about when Sir Fazle was actually having a conversation with a woman in the villages, that what do they do when they take microfinance and buy cows? Do they get enough profit out of it? And she said no. Then he realized that the yield of milk from cows in Bangladesh was really low. So BRAC introduced the artificial insemination program so that the milk production from cows will go up. When the milk production started going up, then the question was, okay, where will the dairy farmers sell their milk? Then BRAC established a series of cold chains so that they could collect the milk from the farmers. So the farmers benefited by directly selling the milk to BRAC. But then the problem was, what do we do with all the milk that was being collected? So then came the idea of finished products like cheese, like milk, from those milk that was collected from the rural farmers. So then the Arong Dairy, of course, came, which is the country's leading dairy producers right now. So often the idea really started from being close to the community, listening to their problems, and then connecting one dots after another. So building this whole supply chain and value chain. And that's how BRAC currently have around 11 social enterprises ranging from country's leading lifestyle retail chain to BRAC Dairy, BRAC Nursery. Recently, we have launched BRAC Healthcare to solve the healthcare problem of middle class in urban cities. And again, the surplus from the social enterprise goes back to our development program to scale the development program for the community. One of the core ideas that differentiate again is the innovation. For example, in wetlands or Haor areas of Bangladesh, when there's no land to set up schools, BRAC scaled a boat school. So the boats that you see was all in one pick up and drop service, and also the school. The boat will go around, pick up children from their homes. The teacher will teach the children on the boat and then again drop them at their homes. When, for example, the Rohingya refugees came to Bangladesh, and we have a model called Play Lab, which works with children under the age of 6, where children learn through play. When BRAC went there, we realized that children who have faced immense trauma, who have seen their families murdered and tortured, they can only focus on education after they have healed psychosocially. So all the teachers were trained as psychosocial counselors, and that's how the humanitarian Play Lab model emerged, which is now being replicated in many disaster and conflict-prone regions around the world, where the teachers are actually the psychosocial counselors providing children healing first and then education. So that's why when you look at BRAC, it will look like an array of activities from health, education, skills development, providing support to migrant workers, microfinance, working in primary healthcare, because we believe in really providing holistic solution, listening to the community and working with them to design the solution that will change their lives. So very quickly, what really differentiates us, what we call our DNA, number one is unlocking the potential of the communities. There's a beautiful quote by Sir Fazle Hassan Abed who says that when someone realizes that they can change their own lives, as if a light gets turned on. So that's why he didn't establish, brag that we are the saviors or we have all the solution. He really believed that people can be their own change agents. We are just there to provide them the opportunity and the skills. So the first DNA of BRAC is that everyone has the power and potential, and we are there to just support them. The second DNA is this holistic approach that there's no one single solution, but you have to go with a solution ecosystem. Number three is scaling up, because he believed that the most number of people we can reach, the better. Number four is being really close to our front line, because majority of our staff, 98%, are based in the field. So they are close to the community. They understand the problem that the community is facing. So really we have to rely on them. And we say that the head office in BRAC might be in Dhaka, but the heart office of BRAC is really with our front line. Number five, DNA or differentiation is delivering with speed and rigor, especially when we operate in countries which are really prone to disaster, climate risk. For example, last year alone, Bangladesh faced 5 natural disasters, including flood, cyclone. So often when there is unprecedented situation like that, we have to deliver with speed and be the first responders on the ground. And one of our core principles is learning by doing, because in many situations, we believe that the community would have the insight, they would know best. So humility and really changing based on what we learn every day is one of our core DNA. The seventh differentiating factor was Sir Fazle Hassan Abed's belief in the potential and power of women. And again, I'll quote him where he says that I have met many defeated men, but I have never met a defeated woman. So such was his trust on the power of women, because women as the manager of family, he believed that women can be the managers of development as well. And 8 is very important, again coming back from his chartered accountancy background, frugal innovation, because the more accessible, the more effective, cost efficient our solution is, he believed that we can reach to more people and make it more accessible to the people who need it the most. So everywhere his focus was on making the solutions frugal and cost effective. So I'll just summarize by saying what makes BRAC the way it is now. Number one is impact at scale. That's his saying, that small is beautiful, but scale is needed. So he always pushed for scale and reaching the most number of people as possible. This is the science of delivery that he believed in, that we need to first pilot in a small scale so that we can fail and learn from it, to really understand in a small scale what works, what doesn't work, just like a scientist in a laboratory, before we perfect it and then go for scale up. So this implementation science of delivery has been really core to BRAC. And of course, we cannot do it alone, because we need the governments that we work with, we need the community, donors, like-minded partners, private sector to amplify the solution. So we are always looking at sharing our knowledge and learning with other organizations. And of course, that's how the amplification of impact happens. And so, how do we stay relevant? Because as the society changes, especially since the pandemic, we have seen that the new kind of problems, new definitions of poverty is emerging. So, this is something he said that we must never rest on our laurels. We must always strive to find solutions to new social challenges. We must reach out to those who need it the most. That's why BRAC has always been evolving and finding solutions like newer challenges, urban poverty, unemployment, livelihood, climate change. Recently, we have started a program in mental health, seeing how this is emerging as a new problem for our youth in both urban and rural areas. So I'll end here. Again, I want to reinforce the core belief that he held, that every program of BRAC, every initiative of BRAC is really centered around the development of women and making them the catalyst for change. So that's what we believe in. That's our motto, that poverty and inequality are human made, so they can be unmade. Birth need not be destiny. Everyone has potential. All people need is the opportunity to realize this. But just knowing this is not enough. Change happens only when vision meets action. There is no injustice on earth that cannot be solved by compassion and courage. That's why we are not just dreaming of a better world, we are building it. So, thank you so much for listening to me, giving me this opportunity to share the story of BRAC. I'll just end with one short video, an interview of the founder that was done by a world renowned photographer called Clayton, and then I'll be happy to take any question you may have.
Tell me what success means. Success to me would mean that I've been able to make somebody else's life better. So if I've educated 10 million children, I think it's quite successful. I found human bodies, livestock, cows, goats, floating in the shallow waters of the bay. And that sort of gave me suddenly the feeling that the kind of life I was leading had no meaning. There is complete disconnect, and I need to connect myself to the people of Bangladesh. So that was the first time that I realized that I needed to do something other than what I was doing. That's it. Hold back. Hold back. Another thing that I decided at that point is that I'm not going to value things. I'm not going to accumulate resource. I'm not going to save money. I'm not going to buy a house and go on my own. I don't need to have it. So I still don't have any possession of that kind. So what do you value? I value service to the people. I value people's lives, that people shouldn't die because they're poor. I value education for children. I value quality education. I value children learning through play. So I value all kinds of things which I didn't value before. So what can you say to the bosses of corporations now government heads, if you could speak to all of them in one go, what do you say to them? Give women, girls, women the authority and responsibility, and you will never regret it. I think women have the capacity to do everything that men can do, and then sometimes with better judgment. How lucky I am to meet. Thank you. Thank you. Right? My name is Abed, and I try to make people's lives a little easier and bring joy to people's lives. Thank you.
That was all from my side. I thank you again for your patient hearing and listening. I'll be very happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. This was such a elaborative, informative deliberation from you. So many our participants, there are more than 120 participants. No break and Fazlur Hassan Abed from you. So I'm now just going to my special guest of today's program, Mr. Muhammad Yassin from Vice President ICMA Pakistan. Sir, now it's turn of you to deliver your speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to everyone joining us today. It's really a pleasure to be the part of this important webinar. I would like to begin by welcoming all the distinguished guests and participants, and also by congratulating SAFA and ICMA Bangladesh for organizing such a meaningful program. Platforms like this truly help us learn from one another and strengthen cooperation across our SAARC region. I must also thank Ms. Motoshi Kabir for her wonderful presentation, ma'am. The way she explained BRAC's journey and achievements was both inspiring and thought-provoking. BRAC has shown the world how a non-government organization starting from very modest beginnings can grow into a global model of development. Its programs in microfinance, education, health, and poverty alleviations stands a proof that with vision, dedication, and innovation, lasting impact is possible. I particularly admire how BRAC combines large-scale operations with strong community engagements, always keeping people at the heart of its work. Here in Pakistan, we also have many examples of successful NGOs, NPOs, and cooperatives making a real difference in society. The Huat Foundation is a shining example in Pakistan. It has built the world's largest interest-free microfinance program, lending dignity as well as opportunity to millions of low-income families. Its model, built on trust and community solidarity, is now studied globally as a unique approach to poverty alleviation. We also have the Kashyap Foundation, which has been empowering women through microfinance and training. And likewise, we also have organizations like Salani Welfare Trust and Chipa Welfare Association in providing food, shelter, and emergency services to thousands every day to the community. One more foundation is very impressive, playing very impressive role in our country here in Pakistan. That is Citizen Foundations. That has also been joined by other educational focused NPOs such the Indus Resource Center and Zindagi Trust, which are working to improve public schools, empowering teachers, and support girls' education. These success stories shows that much like BRAC, Pakistani organizations are also finding innovative ways to address poverty inequality, and social needs as well. They teach us that when people come together with trust, transparency, and commitment, even the biggest challenge can be overcome. Looking ahead, I believe SAFA can play an even stronger role in promoting cooperations among NPOs in our region. We should encourage more exchange of ideas, joint training programs, and regional pilot projects where organizations from different countries work together. By sharing best practices and supporting each other, we can multiply the impact of our efforts. It would also be valuable if SAFA could establish a regional knowledge hub, a simple platform where NPOs from across South Asia can upload case studies, sharing innovations, and connect with partners. This could help replicating a successful model like a Hoover and Bragg in other countries. In addition, annual recognition award for outstanding NPOs initiatives within the SAFA region could serve as a motivation and help bringing visibility to effective and scalable model of social achievement. Once again, I thank the organizers for inviting me, and I believe uh, that this efforts will, as the our host said, this is a series of webinar, and we will project through this platform the different countries of SAARC with the success stories of NPOs. Together, I believe we can take our region's social development to new heights. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful speech. The webinar aimed to find the factors of success and showcase the success stories of these leading NPOs and cooperatives that are impacting the economy and benefiting the society across the SAFA member bodies of SAARC region. So our next project will be, as I said to you earlier, that we are taking from Pakistan. We're going to take in Pakistan success stories. Let's see, sir, what can we do for that? From now, we are come to the end of our program, sir. Now it's time to listen from our concluding remarks from our Vice President, Mr. Abdul Mateen Patwari, sir. So, sir, over to you, sir, please.
Just intervening, Mr. Don. You didn't take any questions because the presenter asked, you didn't give any option to the participant for asking.
Okay, sir, then I'm asking our participants.
Take one or two or three questions.
So, dear participants, do you have any questions? You can raise your hands or direct ask to our learning resource person. We are available to answer your questions.
So, are they getting microphone or?
Yes, sir. They are joined through Zoom.
So you see, there are some questions. You have two questions. No. Is there any question?
No question, sir. Just they are writing in their question and answer templates. There are no questions, sir.
Let me just take the opportunity to invite the members to visit BRAC and experience our programs on the field. We'll be very honored and happy to host you because so that you can experience the programs firsthand and interact with our participants. So an open invitation, whenever you'd like to visit, please do contact us and we'll be very happy to take you to our programs. Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much for your magnanimous invitation. So no question, then you can go for concluding remarks.
Sir, no, sir.
The television was so good, so strong, so meaningful that everybody understands quite well. Thank you very much.
Sir, one question we just received, sir. Any quantitative and numeric info about successful of BRAC? Is there any question, ma'am? Can you see that? Any quantitative and numeric info about successful BRAC? Is there any?
Just turnover, employee, people.
Anyone can get the information from published annual report. It's nice. So instead of counting numbers, I think the way our paper presenter Ms. Mautushi presented is quite understandable. So these are more important than the numbers. Numbers are in annual report, you can look at it. I think the example and the impact BRAC, could establish in people's life, that is a testament of success. So it's not number, it's the impact.
Exactly, sir.
So now you can take over, Don.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, over to you, sir. Sir Abdul Matin Patwari, sir, our Vice President of the Institute of Cost and Management of Bangladesh. Sir, please offer your contribution.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the concluding session. Always, you know that at the end of the session, everybody is happy that they can go quite early. So in our session, normally we takes quite a long time, but under the leadership of Abdur Rahman Khan, the committee we started, especially from the SAFA Committee for Cooperatives and NPO sectors. So they have started at the right time and concluded it quite within less than 1 hour as well. So before conclusion, as a matter of culture, definitely I should appreciate the initiative of our chairman, committee chairman, our past president, as well as our pride from the accounting community, the secretary of the internal resource division, and as well as an NBR, to take this initiative to share the best practices within the SAARC region, basically. But we are very fortunate that we have started from our own country. So definitely it's a very good privilege from our part as well. I would be very happy to see that it is continue for the next few sessions as well. I find that this initiative, definitely they have the thought process. But from my perspective, I find that, you know, that recognition is a very important instrument. So we have to recognize the people, we have to recognize the organization, they have given their best to come to this level of success. So definitely I should appreciate BRAC, and not only BRAC, the organization they will come. Definitely we should recognize their contribution, we should appreciate them, so we should motivate them so that they can deliver their best in the coming days as well. Another part is that if you are sharing your best practices, definitely it will inspire the others. So this inspiration and the success story of one can be replicated for the others. So what will you do? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can learn from here. So I have seen that Motoshi Kabir has given us a lot of instrument and the feed so that we can also share it for the other countries, or even for Bangladesh, also for the other organizations as well. I find that it would be work as an instrument for economic, cultural, and human resource development initiative for the SAARC countries. So definitely those who thought about this process and those who are taking the initiative forward to share the best practices within the SAARC countries, definitely they should get the appreciation as well. So at this point in time, we have some participant. I have seen that they have joined later. So that's why I would like to reiterate some of the points that Motoshi has given us. A DNA that should change the life of BRAC, but definitely we can also materialize it in our processes. So the another part is that the science of delivery. I have seen that it's a very good instrument that we can copy and paste for our own life. And the another good thing is that the Motoshi already offered us to see it from our own eyes, in our own eyes. Definitely, it's a great opportunity. The team may be incorporated in the later years or later times, so that we can learn by seeing it. You know that seeing is believing. Definitely, it will change the mindset of our people. I am very fortunate that the Fazle Hassan Abed, the promoters or the creator of this concept in 1972, he is also a member of Chartered Management Accountant as well. So he basically passed his CMA from London in 1962. So it's really another part of pride from the SAARC professional community, especially from the accounting community, that we are sharing the best practices of someone who is from our community. And somebody is asking about the figure. So definitely Motoshi has shown us the value, but I have seen that her one is quite updated one. But in the internet, you will find the very old figure. As far as accountant is concerned, we always measure it in terms of turnover. I have seen that this total turnover is not available because BRAC is working in many areas: education, healthcare, bank, microfinance, social enterprise, agricultural unit, and the commercial venture. That's why you will not find every information there. But you will find some of the information in terms of employee. You know that they are employing more than 90,000 employees globally. And as far as participation of women is concerned, more than 70% are women. So they are empowering women, creating balance in the societies as far as BRAC is concerned. They are working in 50 countries, so quite heavy. And if you are talking about the geographical region, you will find everywhere they are working. And they are serving more than 129,000 people. She already mentioned that BRAC is the largest NGO in Bangladesh. Though I am talking about NGO, but definitely they have more or less every functions. As she mentioned that now BRAC is not defined by its name, it defines by its function, what they are doing. They are doing more or less every area where they find that the development of the people for the purpose of equality, justice, transparency, accountability, everywhere they are working, education. And one good part is that, just to share with our participant, because there we have many colleagues, those who are participated from the SAARC countries. BRAC, they have one bank. Their market capitalization is more than 1 billion US dollar. So you can imagine the magnitude of this company. But true that one of our colleague already mentioned that what is their turnover. True turnover you will not find in the picture, because their all organizations are not listed or not public organization. So that's why the turnover figure you will not find everywhere. At last, regarding the BRAC, I should say that as an promoters, as a Bangladeshi company, as a transnational Bangladeshi company, we feel proud about BRAC. We feel about Fazle Abed. And definitely, you know that one is the visionary. And you cannot expect that one man will change everything. But his vision was there. But there are significant employees, directors, management, employees, those who have carried his values and vision and materialized into real life. So I should also thank BRAC, its management, employees, director, promoters, facilitator, everyone for their great effort to make us proud in Bangladesh and as well as globally. At the concluding session, I should also respect my chief guest. He is not there, but he is basically participating more or less in every SAFA event, even in the committee meeting also. His commitment is definitely encouraging us to deliver our best. And I would like to thank our special guest, Muhammad Yasin from ICMAB Pakistan, for his time and effort. Definitely, he has given beautiful thought also about some of the organizations of Pakistan. We would be very happy to learn from their success stories for the common development of our countries. So, at this stage, I would like to conclude this session from my part with giving thanks to everybody, especially from the panelists and the resource person, and as well as the chairman of the committee and the participant from the SAFA countries, mostly from India, Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. On behalf of the committee, I would like to thank you also for taking pain and for your enormous contribution in today's organization. And special thanks to Ms. Kubir once again. And also our special guest, Mr. Yassin, our chief guest, all the participants from all SAARC countries. Thank you very much. We are really honored to have all of you in this webinar today. We'll continue this journey and wish you will join in our next webinar as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Just 10 seconds, sir. We have to take a snap, sir.
Okay, take a snap.
Yes, sir.
So everybody, we could take the snap before when we had around 130 participants. Now participants number are increasing. Okay, take snap. So who is taking it?
I'm taking it, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Done.
It's prayer time.
Thank you.
Very good time for finishing webinar before prayer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
Thank you, madam.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam.